I'd like to introduce to you Sandeep Rao, one of India's only visually impaired comedians. Sandeep's comic foresight is unlike his sight. It is rather clear and sharp around the edges.
Hello. Hi, good evening, good evening. Can we, just to start with, can we get a big round of applause for everyone you've seen this evening? And of course, for Feroz and his entire team from SAP, who I met a few weeks back, and they said, we want you to be a part of the summit, and I said, why? I haven't done anything. So recently I was ranked India's funniest partially blind English stand-up comic. Thank you. Yeah. Then I realized I was the only one. So, oh, thank you, sir. It's lovely being here, honestly speaking. Stand-up comedy is something which I love doing, and I came across it a few years back. I was doing various other things before that. I'll tell you about that soon. But the concept, the art form, as stand-up comedy as an art form is still a little, not underappreciated, but it's not known to many people, and they get a little bit confused as to what to expect. I got a call from a lady recently. She asked me to come and perform for her kitty party. And I said, no, I have self-respect. I won't be doing this. So she offered me money, so I did it. So that's where my self-respect ends. And it was really weird because it was a very lovely person. I went to her house and I expected a basic requirement of a stage and a microphone and something where they can hear me. I got mango juice and a garage to perform in with about 10 ladies who were just giggling all the time in their mid-40s. It was lovely, dream come true. And and the best part about it is that I started my performance, my stand-up comedy performance, and 5 minutes into the comedy show, I hear a lady from the back going, why is he still talking? At which point I realized, when they said performance, they expected something else. I don't know if these tight jeans gave it away, but I'm not that kind of man. When I was 8, I was diagnosed with an eye condition called juvenile macular degeneration. It's for short, it's JMD, juvenile macular degeneration. I'm sure many of you know it. For those of you who don't, it's basically where I've lost central vision in both eyes. But I have peripheral vision in both eyes. It's good because I've gone on quite a few blind dates and realized later that it's men I'm with. And it's weird because I used to go on these dates, and the best part about going on these dates is I used to go earlier. So I sit on the right table, because I've been on situations where I've been at the wrong table with a couple for like an hour, and they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I didn't realize, I thought it was just 3 of us. People are into that these days. I didn't realize that it was an open invitation. But the nice thing about this eye condition is that I get to see a little bit. I am partially blind and not fully blind, and I get to see a little bit, but the believability factor is a little bit hard to explain to people, especially when people, I think the best thing this conference is going to increase is going to increase dialogue and conversation, and I think it's much more interesting for us and much more, better for us if people ask us what the problem is as opposed to making assumptions. And it's nice when people come and ask me, they're like, what condition do you have? And I say, I have juvenile macular degeneration. They're like, wow. Because they have no clue what it is. And they come back the next day after reading on the situation, reading up on the condition. Next day, they read up on it online. And they come back the next day and say, you have juvenile macular degeneration, right? Eat spinach. So, I'm not Popeye, my friend. But anyway, it's like the solution. I didn't know that, really. And they send me for faith healing. Some people send me for faith healers. And it's lovely, faith healing. I think to each person his own. If you believe in that, or you believe in that. And this, you always go with faith. As you can buy it at the shop, Go with faith, you'll be fine. And I went to this faith healer, and I stood in front of him. And I said, I'm here. He said, no, don't worry, my friend. Don't worry, son. I will cure your eyesight. I said, how did you know I had an eye problem? He said, because I'm sitting here. And I said, oh, sorry. It was weird. So needless to say, he said I was cured. I turned around and I tripped. I said, really? And he said, no, okay. So things happen. The beautiful thing is people don't believe me when I tell them I am partially blind because, I don't, from first looks, I don't look like I'm a person who needs assistance. Typically, when I tell people I'm partially blind, I'm partially blind, the first response is, why? I don't know, I slept with your daughter, I don't know what the reason is. No, the second thing is they're like, wait, if you're blind, where's your guide dog? Where's your cane? I'm like, uncle, I can't find them. And they don't, it's... So it's hard, the believability thing, because in Indians' minds, everything's extremes. Everything's extremes. Either you're blind or you can see. Either you're in a wheelchair or you can walk. Either you're retarded or you vote for Rahul Gandhi. It's two extremes, right? It's just, it's just two extremes, and oh God, I'm glad the politicians left. But what I've realized is there's a lot of competition, and I think people do tend to sort of generalize the disability community as one. And definitely, hello, yeah, definitely, I think the politician joke, something's happened, the mic's cutting off now. We are definitely one group and working towards one cause, but having said that, there is competition amongst us as well. I remember when I was growing up, my mom used to come and tell me, I want you to do something with your life, grow up, be someone who works hard. And I used to always say, no, I can't see, and I used to use that as an excuse for my inactivity. And I realized South Indian community especially, because I'm South Indian, the aunties especially have one approach for dealing with disabilities, right? It's not necessarily organizing committees, organizing workshops, organizing awareness programs. Their one opinion and one approach to disabilities is Papa. It's like, it could be anything. He can't see. Papa, he can't see. And I realized, right, my aunts in my community, I do have another disability which I don't really talk too much about to people because it sort of offends them. I am Brahmin. So that's why the tight jeans. Do we have other Brahmins over here? All right, time to have a caste party. What do you say? Let's do this, right? And I would love to see my ancestors party, bunch of Brahmin boys get together. Hey, Sridhar, let's party. But wait, man, we can't drink, we can't eat meat, we can't smoke. What shall we do? Let's read. Very good. Very good. Bro, this is an epic. Yeah, it is an epic, idiot. It's Ramayana. It's Brahmin man going, hey, my thread is longer than yours. Anyway. But I'm not your typical Brahmin. I'm not your typical Brahmin. In fact, my family looks down upon a lot of the things that I do because unlike other Brahmins, I have a lot of vices because I do drink, I do eat meat, I do smoke, I respect women. Not acceptable at all. But yeah, it's good. So having said, I'm single because of that. And because most men my age have a fear of arranged marriages in my community. But strangely, in my community, no one's ever approached me. I don't know whether it's because lack of scope or lack of horoscope. I don't know what it is, right? But my aunts still, because it's inbred in them to find me a girl. So they feel that it's just because I have one disability, it's their responsibility.
Hey, you know what annoys me? Nothing. Yeah. Like airplane food. That's something I can endure. They give you these tiny packets of peanuts. I'm grateful to have them. I really am. Hey, has anyone noticed, black guys drive like this, white guys drive like this, and I don't care? I don't care. I don't control other people. Hey, my mother-in-law doesn't upset me. She doesn't